Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show you and instruct you on how to operate a particular function. When we say operations and also the composition of function, pag-uusapan natin dito yung how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions. Okay, let's start. So with a given f of x is equals to 2x plus 3 and g of x is equals to 5x minus 2. Una nating i-perform si addition of function. Na kung saan, with the given f of x plus g of x. So, yan lang yung gagawin natin. Now, in this part, ang gagawin natin is pag-a-add natin yung dalawang function. So, how to do it? So, una muna natin ilalagay yung equivalent ni f of x, which is 2x plus 3. And then, we're going to add the function or the g of x, which is equivalent to 5x minus 2. Okay. The next step is to add similar terms. So, si 2x, ang kasimilar term niya ay si 5x. So, yan ang i-add natin. Okay? So, in the rules of equation, no, kapag mayroong coefficient and variables, kapag sila ay same, yung variables ay makokopya lang. Okay? No need to add. And then, what we're going to add here is only the coefficient, which is 2 and 5. So, 2 plus 5, we have 7x. Next is the single coefficients. Yung kung saan, yung term na to ay walang kasamang variable. So, as you could see, 3, positive 3, plus negative 2, it will give us 1. So, the final answer for the addition of function of 2 given function is 7x plus 1. Next operation is the subtraction of functions. So, same given pa rin po ang gagamitin natin. And as you could see, f of x minus g of x. So, kagaya nung nauna, isusulat muna natin yung equivalent ng f of x, which is 2x plus 3, minus the equivalent of g of x, which is 5x minus 2. Okay, the next step is to apply the subtraction rule of integer. So, paano yung subtraction rule of integer? So, bago tayo mag-subtract, ang gagawin nila is to change the sign of the subtrahend, and instead of subtraction, we will proceed to addition. Okay? So, from B, which is positive, magiging negative B na siya. And then, ito na yung ipoproceed natin na equation. Kung ang case naman is parehos naman silang positive, let's say 5 minus 3, of course, we are not going to apply that rule. So, automatically, ang sagot dyan is 2. Okay? So, now, i-apply natin yung subtraction rule of integers. So, bago natin i-subtract ito, change muna natin lahat ng symbols ng kada term. So, I'm going to copy 2x plus 3. And then, sabi ko nga, instead na mag-proceed tayo sa subtraction, we are going to add terms. Okay? And then, we are going to change the sign of each term. So, from 5x, magiging negative 5x na siya. And from negative 2, magiging positive 2 na siya. Okay? And then, solve. Combine the similar terms. 2x plus negative 5x, it will give us negative 3x. Okay? And then, the next similar terms is the positive 3 and the positive 2. So, positive 3 plus positive 2, it will give us positive 5. So, therefore, f of x minus g of x is equals to 3x plus 5. Next operation that we are going to apply is the multiplication of function. Same as the first two operations that I have been presented to you, I will use the same given function or the same given equation wherein f of x is equals to 2x plus 3 and g of x is equals to 5x minus 2. Now, so since f of x times g of x, same thing dun sa nauna, we are going to use their equations. Okay, so how to multiply these two functions? Okay, so gagamitin natin yung tinatawag nating FOIL method. So ibig po sabihin ng FOIL method, we are going to multiply the first term of each given equation, and then next is the outer part, next is the inner, and last will be the last term of each function. Okay? So sa first, ito ang kanilang first term. Okay? At ito naman yung kanilang last term. So pag in-identify naman natin si outer, itong dalawang to, yan si outer. Okay? At itong dalawa naman to, yan ay si inner. Okay? So, in multiplying equations, susundan muna natin itong pattern na ito. So, we are now going to use the FOIL method. Okay? So, first thing, must to multiply the first term, which is the 2x and the 5x. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin dito is to multiply number by number and letter by letter. Okay? So, 2 times 5, we have 10. And then x times x, we have x squared. Mas naiba siya sa addition and subtraction kasi meron tayong tinatawag na multiplication rule of variable. Wherein, in every variable na magkapareho at meron silang given na exponent, ang gagawin natin sa mga exponent nila is to add. Okay? So, same thing dito, sa parehong x, meron silang invisible na exponent, and that is 1. So, what we are going to do is to copy x and then add their imaginary exponent. 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. Okay? And then, next is to multiply the outer parts, which is yung magkalayo sa isa't isa. So, we are going to multiply. So, negative 2 times positive 2, apply natin yung multiplication rules of integers na kung saan kapag magkapareho ng symbol, whether both are positive or both are negative, ang lalabas sa kanya ay positive. On the other hand, kapag ang symbols ay magkaiba, whether the other one is positive and the other one is negative or vice versa, ang lalabas naman dyan ay negative. So, in this case, we are going to multiply a positive and then multiply a negative, which will give us the result of 4. And then, since wala naman siya kapareho, we are going to rewrite x. Okay? So, tapos na tayo sa outer. Let's have the letter I, which is the inner. Okay? So, we are going to apply the closest terms, which is positive 3 and positive 5x. So, positive 3 times positive 5x, we have 15x. Okay? So, kaya ko siya pinarenticize, it's because yung result ni inner, ni outer, tsaka ni inner, okay, ang mangyayari is mag-a-add lang sila. Hiniwalay ko yung f, tsaka yung l. So, ito yung sa first term, ito yung sa last term. So, this is the result of the outer and this is the result of the inner. Okay? And then, next is to multiply the last term, which is the positive 3 and the negative 2. So, applying the multiplication rule of integers, multiply a positive and a negative, which will give us a negative result. So, positive 3 times negative 2, it will give us 6. Okay? And the last process here is to add or to operate the results here inside the parentheses. So, I'm going to copy 10x squared. Okay? And then, this symbol will depend on what will be the result here inside of the parentheses. So, negative 4 plus positive 15, it will give us positive 11x. And then, copy the last term, which is the negative 6. So therefore, if we multiply these two functions, the result will be 10x squared plus 11x minus 6. And the last operation that we are going to apply is the division. So in division, with the given f of x will be divided into g of x. And later on, we are going to apply the division rule of a function or an equation. Okay, so same given, okay, we are going to apply. So f of x, which is equivalent to 2x plus 3 over g of x is equals to 5x minus 2. Actually, this is your final answer. Just because there is no terms that we need to simplify. Okay? So sa madaling sabi, si 2x plus 3 at si 5x minus 2, wala naman silang kaakibat na factor. Kaya hindi natin sila maa-apply ng factorization method. Okay? So, pupunta ako doon sa sinasabi ko na division rule of equation, exponent, wherein kapag ang isa ay negative or we are going to apply here what we so called the division rule of integers. Okay? So, in every time tayo na mag-divide ng g of x, okay? So, ang rules dyan is to find its reciprocal. And then, instead of division, magpo-proceed tayo sa multiplication. Okay? So, for an instance, let's say we have 3 here, and then divided by 1/5. Okay? So, before we divide, hanapin muna natin ang reciprocal ni 1 over 5, which is 5. Okay? So, paano ba yung reciprocal na yon? Just simply transfer those numbers from their opposite sides. So, ibig sabihin, si 5 na mula sa denominator, mapupunta siya sa numerator at si 1, mapupunta siya sa baba. So, mangyayari magiging 5 over 1 or simply 5. Okay? And then, instead of dividing these terms or dividing these elements, sabi ko nga, puproceed tayo sa multiplication. So, we have 3 times 5 is equals to 15. So, therefore, 3 divided by 1/5 is equals to 15. So, bakit ko pinapakita yun? Because if we are going to apply here, no? So, hahanapin natin yung reciprocal nito. So, the reciprocal of this, since siya ay whole equation at wala siyang denominator but an imaginary, so ang reciprocal ng 5x minus 2 ay 1 over 5x minus 2. And then, instead of division, magmumultiply tayo. And then, copy the 2x plus 3. So, pag nagmumultiply, numerator sa numerator, and then, denominator sa denominator. Since any number multiplied by 1 is the number itself, so, mangyayari magiging 2x plus 3 na lang. And then, since wala naman siyang kasama, we have 5x minus 2. So, ganun pa rin yung result na lumabas. And the last thing na dapat nating ituro sa inyo is the composition. So, sa composition, ibig sabihin yan, the composition of g is of x, which is equivalent to f of g of x. Kapag naman ang nabigay dito is g o f of x, mangyayari magiging g of f of x. So this time, ito muna ang ipe-perform natin at i-interpret natin siya bago isolve. Okay, same given po tayo. We have f of x is equals to 2x plus 3 and g of x is equals to 5x minus 2. Okay, so there are two ways kung paano i-perform to. So, ang una ko munang ituturo sa inyo is this one. First is to solve for the g of x. So, g of x is equals to 5x minus 2. So since wala namang value si x, ito na yung mismong equation. So tapos na tayo kay g of x. And then, ang next naman natin is the f. Okay? So paano naman to? Here's what we are going to do. Itong equation na to, merong x. At meron tayong isa-substitute dyan. Ang isa-substitute natin dyan ay itong mismong equation na nanggaling sa g of x. So, if we are going to solve for the f of g of x, we have 2 times, instead of x, ang ipapalit ko ay yung 5x minus 2 and then plus 3, which is nanggaling dito. So, ito ang interpretation ni f of g of x. We have 2 times 5x minus 2 plus 3. Next thing is to multiply 2 from each term, except sa 3. Okay? Kasi nasa a, labas siya ng parenthesis. Okay? So, we have 2 times 5x, we have 10x. And then, 2 times negative 2, we have negative 4. And then, we are going to add 3 from the negative 4 since they are same in terms. So, copy 10x. And then, negative 4 plus 3, we have negative 1. So, the equivalent of f of g of x is 10x minus 1. Okay, another example of composition is I'm going to reverse their places. Okay, so g of f of x. Okay, so what we are going to do is to find first the f of x. And f of x is equals to 2x plus 3. That's it. So after identifying f of x, we are now going to apply g of f of x. So same thing as what I have demonstrate to you earlier. No? What we're going to do is to use this and substitute the value of x. Okay? So what we are going to substitute here is the equivalent value of f of x. So in other words, we are going to apply g of f of x, which is equals to 5 times, we are going to write this instead of x, 2x plus 3. Okay? And then, minus 2. Minus 2 was came here at the g of x equation. Okay? And then same thing, multiply 5 from the each term inside the parentheses. So we have 10x plus 15. And then, operate 2 from positive 15 because they have the same term. So I will copy 10x. And then 15 minus 2, we have positive 13. Okay? So this will be the value of g of f of x. So I hope you learned something about the operations and compositions of function. So we'll see you next week for more demonstration and solutions on how to solve a particular function.